Why do so many people feel so good on a carnivore diet? What is it about the diet that makes it so special and so unique to reverse so many different types of diseases? What's up guys, my name is Lucas and today I'm here to talk to you about all of the common myths and also some other elements of the carnivore diet that need to be explored that haven't truly been explored in further detail. So for those of you who are brand new to my channel, my mission is to bring you guys the most cutting edge health information that you'll struggle to find on Google. So please be sure to like this video, hit that subscribe button below, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below as I do aim to respond to each and every single one.
The information depicted in this presentation is purely for informational purposes only. Please consult your healthcare professional before making any changes to your lifestyle or routine. This is not medical advice.
I guess the first question that we need to examine is, what is the carnivore diet? Well, the carnivore diet is a diet that involves eliminating all plant-based foods and shifts one's primary fuel source and macronutrient and nutrient intake to purely meat. So it's focusing on consuming high quality nose to tail organ meats. That's a really critical point to firstly look at, is that the carnivore diet really does try to emphasize consuming organ meats. So that can be brain, liver, kidneys, spleen, testes, and other organs. I guess what I really want to start out by saying is that the carnivore diet is simply just the most effective elimination diet. It eliminates many food groups that can potentially be problematic for the individual. Many times, as part of like the naturopathic philosophy, we want to address the root cause of disease. And many times the root cause can be consuming something that your body is incapable of breaking down, or your body responds negatively to, or your body mounts an immune response or an inflammatory response to that particular food. So with the carnivore diet, when somebody first starts on this particular type of diet, they're going to be cutting out various plant toxins, which I'll explore very shortly. Benefit of this is that they're no longer getting that inflammatory or immune mediated response, and that is why so many individuals see a regression or a reduction in their autoimmune symptoms. So I really want to explore some of the hidden beneficial chemicals found primarily in meat. The very first one is carnosine. Carnosine is incredibly well researched to support overall health span and also fight many aspects of metabolic disease and dysfunction. So carnosine is actually incredibly important for protecting the eyes, specifically playing a role in retinal health. In addition, we also have taurine. You guys know how much I love taurine. I've spoken about this on my channel before. Taurine has a plethora of benefits outside just improving liver function. It's also highly beneficial for kidney health, cardiovascular health, neurological health, skeletal muscle health, metabolic health, immune health, and gastrointestinal health. So you can see that that's another key benefit of taurine that's exclusively found within meat. And then we have some other amino acids and chemicals, one of which we know has incredible performance enhancing benefits, creatine, which again is primarily found in meat and meat-based foods. And in addition, we also have 4-hydroxyproline, which again is only found within meat. And that is incredibly important for skin health, bone health, and other connective tissue parts of the body. So that's another key benefit there. And just by the way, guys, I am not someone who adheres to the carnivore diet to its entirety. I'm someone who likes to utilize a modified carnivore diet, which is the implementation of specific vegetables and specific fruits and honey and other nutrients to actually keep that thyroid functioning high, because we need sufficient amounts of carbohydrates to fuel the liver to convert T4 into T3. So that's going to provide the body with that metabolic boost that we would lack if we did not include carbohydrates. So that's why my stance is that carbohydrates are essential, and it just depends on one's activity levels in terms of how much they should be consuming. The next key point is that meat contains no anti-nutrients. Now, the anti-nutrients are exclusively found within plant-based foods. So we have lectins, oxalates, phytates, and a few others as well. These are the three ones that I want to focus on in this video. So lectins are indigestible proteins that travel throughout the gut unchanged in high quantities, which can potentially damage the gut lining. So lectins are found within wheat, soybeans, red kidney beans, peanuts, tomatoes, potatoes, and chickpeas. Oxalates is a completely different category of chemicals. These are compounds that can actually bind to minerals in the body and actually deplete the body of minerals. The number one rich oxalate food is actually spinach. Then we have rhubarb, buckwheat, almonds, wheat, potatoes, and soybeans. And then we also have phytates, which actually, again, similar to oxalates, they can strip the body of essential minerals. Phytates are rich in various nuts and seeds. So the next key point is how the carnivore diet can actually lower serotonin. Now, you may think that this is a bad thing. In my opinion, this is actually a beneficial effect. I mean, serotonin often gets described as the happy hormone, and in fact, it is far from that. I've spoken about the dangers of high serotonin before. I cover that in my nootropics course, which you can see a link to down below. So you can see there that serotonin is actually released from the gut anytime something irritates the gut lining. We actually release more serotonin. So for example, did you know that ginger possesses anti-serotonin effects in the gut, and that is how it can reduce nausea. Nausea is actually stimulated by an excess of serotonin. So you can see there in the diagram that the gut contains many serotonin receptors and also can release serotonin. That can also travel to the brain and exert a physiological and psychological effect, specifically in the brain. So we can get dysfunctions in mood states. So I'm going to actually talk about the high serotonin personality type. So I've spoken about this before on my channel, but this is really critical to understand that an individual with high serotonin will often feel very lethargic and tired. They often feel overexcited, or they suffer from ADD, ADHD. They can get distracted easily. They oftentimes have impulsive thoughts, or they feel restless. They can also struggle with rigid thinking and mental inflexibility. That's often noted amongst individuals that have, high serotonin. And unfortunately, high serotonin can blunt one's response to reward. So it can cause anhedonia when in excess. In addition, the high serotonin personality type may be very narcissistic. They have reduced sensory perception. They can be overly analytical. And unfortunately, high serotonin type can also be someone who struggles with OCD, since the 5-HT2C receptor, when activated, can increase compulsivity and lowers dopamine and noradrenaline. The next question that comes up is, what about fiber? This is actually very, very debatable, and I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. If you have transitioned over to a carnivore diet, how that impacted your stool quality. The truth is that fiber does not need to be present to fix or reduce constipation. There are studies that show that reducing fiber intake reduces constipation. So that sounds completely contrary to the popular belief, but there are studies showing that reducing or lowering fiber intake can actually improve constipation. So that's a very interesting point to note. A key benefit of consuming plant-based foods, this key point here is looking at the anti-cancer effects of plants, exclusively plants, because bear in mind, when we eat meat, we're stimulating the mTOR pathway, whereas a lot of these plant-based chemicals actually stimulate the AMPK pathway, which is the pathway that suppresses cancer growth. So you can see on the study here that it found that these polyphenols in food have cancer preventative and apoptosis induction effects, which means that it stimulates apoptosis, which is the cleanup of dead cells and self-destruction of malformed cells in the body. So we can see that many polyphenols, such as those found within green tea, or turmeric. These can lead to epigenetic changes and cause cell death in malfunctioned cells, and can help with the cleanup process of potentially harmful cells in the body. So that's a key benefit of plants. I want to look at now the psychoactive plant chemicals that's often neglected in the carnivore diet. So we have resveratrol and pterostilbene. Resveratrol found in red wine, pterostilbene found within blueberries. Both of these chemicals cannot be found in meat, so they're exclusively found within plant-based foods. So we know that resveratrol and pterostilbene both possess very potent neuroprotective effects. They can reduce neuron cell death. They can reduce oxidative stress in the brain. They can improve cognitive function. They can improve calcium homeostasis in the brain. They can prevent vascular damage. They can also prevent blood-brain barrier permeability, or a leaky blood-brain barrier, which is absolutely very much an issue in today's society with Bluetooth and EMF, which can cause a leaky blood-brain barrier. And they also have protective effects on cellular defenses within the brain as well. I wanted to also explore how salt intake is absolutely essential on the carnivore diet as well. Because we're eliminating processed foods and high carbohydrate foods, our ability to retain salt and our general sodium intake is reduced. And bear in mind, we need salt or sodium to create stomach acid. So if we want to digest protein efficiently, we need sodium to make up hydrochloric acid, because the sodium, which is NaCl, chloride component of sodium chloride, helps to create stomach acid. Finally, another point to note is that bile support is absolutely essential on a carnivore diet as well. And bear in mind, bile is not only beneficial for fatty acid metabolism, but it also helps with the excretion of waste products in the body by acting as a natural laxative, and it can kill off bad microbes and also support blood sugar metabolism. You guys know how much I love TUDCA. I've spoken about that on my channel, benefits of using TUDCA. Guys, if you've enjoyed this video or learned something new, please be sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button below, and please share my channel around. I'm really trying to spread highly useful health information worldwide. So thank you guys for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.